On the other hand, there still appears to be a strong market for industrial warehousing. In fact, Mr. Brown has repeatedly asserted over the last 3 years that there is no market for anything other than warehousing at this site. Mr. Brown's existing entity is going to get paid an amount equal to, or at least the money Brown has put into it. In other words, the purchase price the new entity is going to pay will make Mr. Brown's existing entity whole. Brown will have preliminarily achieved a bailout from Hazel Crest for what, as of now, has been a bad investment. Now
We are aware that the city lawyers have been talking with development. And I think it's time that we begin to hold a town hall or a public meeting so that the residents of Hazel Crest is aware of what may threaten. I understand there's a long process, but I haven't heard anything from this board. And as things
Would like to remind you guys that you didn't want this development at CCC. You actively spoke out about not working with this developer. So I just wanted to go ahead and let you all know that this is an issue. It's a big issue. Your community needs to know about it. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all tonight. Please keep us in mind. South Suburbs for Green Space will continue to show up. I appreciate it.
We're more connected than we recognize. What the town allows someone else to do with the beautiful property of Calumet Country Club affects the whole area. It's going to, if it's turned into what the property owner would like, will be perhaps a good income for his investment. But on the other hand, it's going to cause a lot of misery for a lot of people. And as I always give thanks to the city fathers in Chicago that carved out so many parks and forest preserve districts and some beautiful public facilities that we are now enjoying. I hope that you too realize that you have the same opportunities to guide the developer into something that will be part of the community and not warring against your neighbors.
That our villages of Hazel Crest, Homewood-Flossmoor, it's the people that make up those villages that are so family oriented. And I think that putting an industrial area, which I know we all know this, would not foster the kind of communities that we have now. And I think that we all want to keep that family orientation, and I think that keeping the green space green would foster even more families with community income.
The only reasons that I can see even moving forward with the development on that property would be A, revenue, which you won't see much of for at least the next quarter century if you plan on giving this property developer a TIF district. When you pave over 1 million square feet of that property, that water doesn't grow into the ground, it doesn't go into the trees, it's gonna run right off back into that neighborhood. And all those people that live there, they're gonna deal with that, and they're gonna have to suffer that. So, Bernard, February 16, 2021. You made a statement, it's on video, it's still on Facebook today. From that statement you made, you said you wouldn't work with this developer. This shirt, I've worn this shirt proudly for the last year. This was made because of the statements you made. Southland proud, right? We're all one community here. I'm gonna take this time over the next few months and I'm gonna retire this, and I'm not gonna wear this. Because until I find out that this property is no longer going to be accepted and annexed into this village and the whole development is annexed, I just can't see it feasible for me to put that on my chest and wear that proudly.
I also worry about the flooding in this area because it is a problem that will only be increasing as our climate is changing and this area of the Chicagoland becomes more wet. I want to thank you for letting us speak. We appreciate you letting us into your board meeting. I love it here. My family is here. I have 3 children. My son is here tonight. He comes to a lot of these meetings with me. So we love it here and we want to continue living here. Thank you.
Thank you. In 1995, the Village of Homewood spent $495,200 to put in a drainage system that's in the Homewood neighborhood of Governor's Park on the street. I would recommend you look at that 32-page easement agreement with the village of Homewood that says nothing can be built on top of this easement, which is on Calumet Country Club property, and it can't be regraded without permission of the village of Homewood before you proceed. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'm gonna tell you to do your homework.
I think there's a lot of important statements that were made here today, a lot of assumptions that was made here today. And I think we do need to talk to our residents. We have not talked to our residents because we don't have enough information to talk to our residents. One thing you guys gotta remember, when this whole process was going on, I stayed out of it. I stayed out of it, I got blamed for a lot of stuff, still get blamed for stuff. But that was your town, your community. Those are moves that Hopefield made, and I stayed out of it for that particular reason. As they come and ask us about Calumet Country Club, I have a responsibility to hear what they have to say. I can't tell them no, because Homewood doesn't want it. I got 14,000 people here I have to hear from also. We've not brought it to our citizens, and the history of Hazel Crest, we always bring things to our citizens. And so we have not brought anything to them because we have nothing to bring to them. We have had discussions with our attorneys, as you all know, and that's work product. That's always work product. We should not have a discussion because how somebody else feel and only see one part of it. That's not government at all. And so, yes, and we know two things. We talk about the history of that property. That property was in Hazel Crest for many, many years and was re-annexed to Homewood to become a golf course. We know that history, that property, and yes, we're having a conversation. And yes, we will have a conversation. And yes, we will bring it to our residents and see how our residents feel about it. And we will look at presentations from, and I'm not gonna lie to anyone, we will look at presentations what they have. And I do stand by what I said. There's no way in the world where 130 some acres of a trucking facility. That don't make sense to anyone. But we do have to look at land use in our region and how that's going to look. Because that's my responsibility and our responsibility as a board. And because we have to look at the future of Hazel Crest and how this region does move forward. Because the region can't stay stagnant and it can't all be green space. It's impossible because the taxes here are crushing us. And people say they'll move away, but the taxes are making people move away in droves in this region. And that's being real, having a real conversation with all of us in the region, not just Hazel Crest, but from anyone in Cook County. And so as we move forward, we're going to move forward with the idea to have open eyes, open ears, and being fair and equitable to our citizens, all of our citizens and our neighbors, because that's what we're all about.